1985. Scar tissue. On a wet night in Thatcher's Britain, a miracle was delivered onto the pockmarked pavement behind a decrepit building once known as Lambeth Hospital. 4 women standing flanked by battered rubbish bins looked up to a close English sky and thanked Allah for this sign of his generosity. 2 women ululated. 1 little boy, shy and tired, buried his face in his mother's neck, and 1 baby, stamped with a continent-shaped mole, tried out her lungs. Her wail was mighty and unself-conscious, and with it she announced that we had all arrived in England. None of us had hitherto had the confidence to be so brazen. I was one of those 4 women. I trained in this god-forsaken building, a Gothic nightmare of a place, a former workhouse where the poor were imprisoned and divided, men from women, aged and infirm from able-bodied good from able-bodied bad, each forced to break a daily quota of stone in order to earn their keep. Adjacent is the old infirmary, which once had its own register of lunatics, among them a woman named Hannah Chaplin, diagnosed with acute psychosis resulting from syphilis, while in residence there with her 7-year-old son Charlie, some 80 years ago. I don't share this history, though I've moved within its walls. In the places I have lived, the aged and the infirm and the psychotic are not separated from the rest of us. They are part of us. I don't share this history, but as a child I did see a Charlie Chaplin film in a cinema in Tangier through the smoke of 100 cigarettes. I sat cross-legged between my parents on a wooden bench, a carpet of peanut shells at our feet, the audience roaring with laughter, united by the shared language of bodies without words. Amazing that humour could ever be born of this place. The building now stands condemned, slated for demolition, and I work at Southwestern, a hospital largely catering to the poor from the beleaguered housing estates in the surrounding areas, the mentally ill, the drug-addicted, the unemployed white, the Asian and Afro-Caribbean immigrants, and the refugees and asylum seekers, the latest wave of which has been rolling in from torn parts of East Africa, principally Eritrea and Sudan. Many of these claimants avoid the hospital, overwhelmed or intimidated as they are by the agents and agencies of the state, the customs officers, police, civil servants, lawyers, social workers and doctors, with their unreadable expressions and their unreadable forms. I know this because they are my neighbours. I encounter them in the elevator, in the laundrette, in the dimly lit concrete corridors of high-rises on the Cotton Gardens estate. I've lived in a 1-bedroom council flat on the 14th floor of one of these buildings since the autumn of 1974. Compensation for the circumstances of my arrival. My white face and white uniform give me the appearance of authority in this new world, though my experiences, as my neighbours quickly come to discover, are rooted in the old. I'm a white Muslim woman raised in Africa, now employed by the National Health Service. I exist somewhere between what they know and what they fear, somewhere between the past and the future, which is not quite the present. I can translate the forms for them before kneeling down and putting my forehead to the same ground. Linoleum, concrete, industrial carpet, 5 times a day, wherever we might be, however much we might doubt ourselves and the world around us. I was not always a Muslim, but once I was led into the absorption of prayer and the mysteries of the Quran, something troubled in me became still. I was the daughter of 2 solitary renegades who'd met at Trinity College, Dublin in the 1950s, freaks pulled by the magnet of shared disenchantment into an inseparable embrace. Alice and Philip, so convinced they had enough love, intelligence, and language between them to make their way around the world, that they took a leave of absence from university and obligation that would last the rest of their lives, setting off on foot, with me nothing more than an egg in my mother's belly. Nomads, my father called us, though there was no seasonal pattern to our migration. I was born in Yugoslavia, breastfed in Ukraine, weaned in Corsica, freed from diapers in Sicily, and walking by the time we got to the Algarve. Just when I was comfortable speaking French, we'd be off to Spain. Just when I had a new best friend, the world was full of strangers again.